Hi guys, we're gonna go ahead and show you today a video about how we like planting our bananas, how we like to propagate the bananas. This is a very nice seedling we've removed from a bigger bunch. Okay, so we've removed the soil, most of the soil around the roots, okay? And I'm gonna give it a nice clean. I'm gonna clean up these roots to stimulate new roots. We wanna get rid of these old roots, all right? And then I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be showing you. It's very important that we have a nice sharp machete, okay? Because we don't want to rip the roots off. We want to give it a nice clean slice, okay? Could be better than this, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that when I need to. There's a nice worm there. All right, so we've gone ahead, we've cleaned up most of the soil here so you can really see what's going on. Once we've cleaned it up, what I want to show you, we want to be careful when you're cutting the roots off, not to cut any of the skin. You see, this skin here has the layers. If you can try see all the layers that it has, because it's from these layers here that new roots are gonna sprout from. So we need as much surface of layers intact, these intact layers that you're gonna see in the roots system of the bananas. You see, there is a very nice example. You can see it there. You can see all those layers there. So this is a very nice seedling. We want to keep most of these layers possible. So I judge, one of the main things I judge when we talk about a good banana seedling is, how intact these layers are. So when we're cutting off these roots, we really want to be careful not to damage the layers. So we really want to just get the roots out. Okay? Right. What I also like to look out for, I like to look out for any new eyes, any new signs of anything that's going to sprout, because really we like to propagate one banana at a time. I really don't like that bunch of bananas. I like to harvest that one big, I'm not so in touch with the terms. You guys can give me a hand, We like one banana at a time in each. Here they say they got the daughter, the granddaughter. Some people like keeping 3 banana trees. Some people like keeping 5. We like keeping just one. So I'm going to make sure that we have only one growing out of this. So that looks like an eye. That looks like where it's going to sprout. So I'm going to try to remove that. Let's have a look. You see, if you can see where it's all the round circle there, you can see that I am going to pop that out. All right. So I'm going to remove as many eyes as I can find on here, because I don't want it already sprouting. I'm not sure if this looks like one. It's a nice part of the layer where it would have sprouted here. Let me just take a little bit out of that. Let's have a look. Yeah, basically just underneath it there is one there. All right, because that's going to save me time later and energy, concentrate energy all in one banana. You see it there? I took off the eye there. Right, let's see if there's any other ones here. If it's a species that you need to propagate, and you need more seedlings, so maybe you want to leave the eyes, but not if you want to harvest bananas. You want to have nicer bananas if you don't have loads of them, loads of trees in the same spot. All right, so I've taken 2 of them out. Right, now I'm gonna give it a nice cut. This is part of our technique. We're gonna give it a nice cut just here. All right. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got the baby there. This is what it's looking like. We like it just on an angle like that. Okay, and we've got the root system there. So this is the seedling we're going to be planting. All right, I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to show you a bit about the nest here, the bed. Right, when we've digged this out, we've digged out, we say the horizon A and the horizon B, where we're taking the first, say, 20 centimeters to one side, and then the next 20 centimeters to the other side. We're separating the different soils. We've got real poor soil as we go deeper. So we've separated them, and now I'm going to get that richer soil and put underneath, and the poorer soil on top. We know that we're going to be able to get more life in this new soil. You can see it over here. See the color of the soil is really sandy, it's quite light colored, and here it's a little bit darker, a little bit more structured. So because we'll have a greater impact underneath there, we're never going to dig this up again and be down there, so we're going to give the best down there, and on top we know that the life is just going to better the soil as time goes on. All right, we've harvested some wild beans. It's basically one of those beans that you use for green coverage and everything. You want to be careful for it not to propagate everywhere. We use it a lot for, you know, green coverage and nitrogen fixing. It's really rich, but we've harvested the beans. When we work with these kind of cultures, you need to manage them very well, like we'll be doing with the Mexican sunflowers, and we've talked about this in the other video. You can plant these vigorous, rich plants, but you really need to manage them. So one of the things we've done is we've harvested the beans nice and green. Obviously we've left some to dry out and mature in the field, so we can use that for next year, for the next projects. But what I'm going to do with this, what am I going to do with this now? I'm going to use it as, you know, I'm going to get a nice bunch and put it underneath every banana bed. You know, it's just like extra manure. So look at that, it's interesting. So I've enriched that down there a little bit there, so we're going to do it with all our beds. We've got here our manure. Here in Sitio de Jazz, we've been using a lot of the cow manure. We've got some cows in, and this is the shredded eucalyptus. So, you know, we shred the eucalyptus, and we cover the floor of the barn. All the cows are there, stepping, pissing, shitting, and doing their thing. So now and then we get all this rich material. It's beautiful. I'm very fond of this. Semi-fresh cow manure with eucalyptus shredded and pissed on, and everything nice that you can imagine in this life. So we're going to go ahead and be very generous, all right, with that. Okay, mix that with the soil, bring that in. Okay, this is the largest bed you'd want for a banana. You don't need it to be this large. The boys here in Sitio de Jazz, they want to do a good job. I tell them, give me a 35 to 40, they give me 50 by 50 by 50. We can do 35 to 40, 40 by 40 by 40 cubed is well enough, because the bananas don't go too deep, all right? But I'm going to plant bananas, and I'm going to plant other things around it, so I'm going to make good use of this bed, not only for the bananas. So we're going to make it work for us, the depth of the bed. I like to be real generous with the manure. The manure is already coming with life. There's worms already in the manure. It's beautiful. So we've got that nice rich soil down there with some nice rich manure as well. Okay, so many worms, so many worms. This is really a nice structured soil. Now we're going to go ahead and be more generous with the manure, with this poorer soil here. I'm not going to go into this fresh manure thing, you know, that's another topic. But I tell you now, something I really love using, fresh manure. All right. You see that we've brought up the height of the bed. We really don't want the bananas to go too deep down. They're quite superficial, right? So now we've got our beautiful seedling. We've got to get the eye, and we're going to point it diagonal down, all right? As you do. Right, that's pretty perfect. I'm going to bring it a little bit further back to give it a little bit more space. All right, that looks pretty perfect to me. It's going to grow downwards, and then it's going to curve and bring it up. It's going to form that elbow. And this is how it is in nature. In the wildlife, the banana drops, and then it sprouts from underneath, and then it comes up, it forms the elbow. And by doing this, it's more resistant to wind, right? It needs that elbow really to help and keep it more resistant, right? Especially to wind. It's just beautiful, it's just beautiful. Try it at home. So now we're gonna cover that. As you can see, we've left the seedling about 4 fingers from the level where the ground is going to be, the final level, right? So it's not very deep. It's quite superficial. Banana roots, they kind of work quite superficial, right? So we don't want to go that deep. We've lifted with the soil, we've lifted up, well, we've put the manure deep down, but we've lifted it up a little bit, and we have it like a 4 finger. That's cool. That's enough. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cover that now. Nice amount of manure, because in this bed I'm going to plant tomatoes and lots of other stuff as well. Get some of that weak soil from underneath, really mix that up, bring that weak soil in. I really got to enrich in that soil because it comes from deep down. It's really poor, really acid. Could throw a little bit of rock dust and things like that, but it's not available here today. Really mix that up. Right. Bring in a weak soil. It's all been spread out over there. All right. So, okay, we've got the bed here, and we're gonna just put our fingers in. Okay, I'm not compacting it with my hands. I'm putting in my fingers, as you can see. Okay. So take those pockets of air. Just really try and minimize. We know it's gonna end up, sitting a little bit. It's gonna end up lowering the level where this fluffy soil is. But see there, I'm pushing it in, taking a bit of the air out. And then really I just gotta, whatever soil is left over here, I just gotta spread it out. I just gotta spread it out here. Just make sure it's not left like a pile, where this is gonna be a vegetable bed on top. Right, so it's nice, spread out. Okay, looking good. All right, so last but not least, I'm gonna mark that. Get a nice little bit of stick here. Right. I'm going to mark the center of that. Okay. Because I'm going to come ahead and plant tomatoes around here. All right. I'm going to plant some wild beans. right? And I'm gonna plant 3 tomatoes. And I'm thinking of putting some interesting seeds here, some interesting tangerines that I've been harvesting. I've been eating some tangerines, maybe some avocados. I've got lots of avocados around, but maybe just, you know, more variety, and then I can select it in the future. Because I'm harvesting a lot of avocados up there. I got the seeds. I got the seeds of the tangerines. I got the seeds of the avocados. You know, just for selection's sake, you know, you never know. I might get a blessed avocado. I might get a blessed tangerine tree out of this bed here. All right, but definitely the tomatoes are going to pay. The wild beans is going to guarantee the sustainability of the grass that's planted on the sides, because I'm going to be chopping that and feeding back for the grass. I need to be harvesting grass here for at least a year in a good capacity for the animals. All right, I'm going to plant some ginger as well along the center. I'm only going to have 1 line of irrigation here. So along the center I'm going to plant some ginger, also because I'm harvesting ginger, and then I've got, you know, a bit of the seedlings left over. So, you know, and I'm thinking of doing a double line of just black beans for me to eat. It's not gonna be a problem. And I'll be coming back and showing you when everything is sprouted and how everything fits in. All right. So, you know, I hope that was interesting about how we plant bananas, how we propagate them out here in our syntropic farming agroforestry system. All right. So from Situ to Jazz, I hope that was interesting. Let us know if it was cool. If you want to try it out, share with us the results. All right. Hopefully in very little time, in a month from now, we're going to see the bananas all coming up nice and healthy. So till next time.